It's crazy, man. I'm seeing it happen all over. Schools are doing this stuff. Like we're selling software, ed tech software in school districts and the day job outside of AI DIY, right? And like I've walked into school districts in Mississippi that have an H100 running. Like they're buying GPUs trying to figure out how to use AI right now. So I think businesses are going to start. There's this weird drift back to local compute that typically people were just tossing up to the cloud, and costs have just gotten outrageous, right?
Yeah.
So
And the security risk too, right? When you're just sending, like, that was one of the things I bumped into, which is kind of like why I also wanted to build something local too, because I'm talking to lawyers and accountants and, like mergers and acquisitions consultants, and they don't necessarily some of them have even started to vibe code something for themselves. And then they realize, wait, I'm about to send like some sensitive client information through this thing. Like, is this legal? Am I going to get into trouble? What happens if there's a data breach and all of a sudden this client's information is gone? I know that like the frontier models are like, they're pretty, their security is pretty good, but it's not unheard of that, there's leaks and attacks and stuff like that. So it's like, so what is the solution? And I do feel like the solution is like locally deployed systems,
man,
right?
yeah, and if anybody listening has, I don't know if you've played with the Apple Siri SDK and their kind of Apple Intelligence SDK that's now available. But it's all on device computing, right? And the stuff that you can do with the developer kit is pretty powerful, even though people are giving Apple such a hard time for how behind Siri is. But Apple with on device compute is just, it's going to be insane. Like for example, in the school districts, right? Like we're serving tons of Whisper models from a single Mac studio, and it's protected. It's got all the right systems in place. But it's amazing what 128 gigs of RAM and a Mac Studio can do for you. Like I'm blown away that it could even be anywhere near reliable and performant enough. So whether it's what's going on with Apple and the MLX, kind of space and these MLX optimized models, even things like Transformers JS. If you come across this, it's like in browser LLMs. You can just mount an LLM to the browser. It's crazy.
Is that different than, say, Claude Chrome extension? Or is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of same idea?
I can now build my own Chrome extension using Transformers JS, which literally just allows me to mount the model to the browser. And so I don't have to grab, some huge model, load it onto the machine. They're doing some really clever stuff in partnership with Hugging Face to like run these models from the virtual machines, but you're accessing it just through the browser. So you don't need a heavy device to hit it, but it is bandwidth intensive, right? That's your trade-off. So you got to have good connectivity. So regardless, the same digital divide issues are still there, right? You got to have a good computer with good compute, or you got to have a good internet connection. The 2% of the world that remains without those things, I think it's something like that, or 3% of the world that don't have that kind of connectivity even through smartphones. The gap is just increasing there. But I think, there was a big push in education to go one-to-one with, computers, right? You get one computer per student. And that's been the big push for the last 20 years. The next step is one-to-one. Every student will have access to compute, right? Like whether it's on device or, before that. So I don't know. I'm very optimistic, right? The future looks very, very bright from where I'm sitting, right?